So we will continue with the performance bond. So far we discussed about the different types of bond. So performance bond. So what is a performance bond? Okay, sometimes it's referred as a performance security. So what is the security means? Okay, all of you go for a subclause 1.1.6.6. Okay, which is says performance security means a security or securities if any under the subclause 4.2 performance security. So we will discuss in detail about the subclause 4.2 in the upcoming slides. So it should be understandable very clearly without any doubt. Okay. So in this subclause 4.2, the contractor shall obtain at at his cost a performance security for a proper performance. So what did it say is contractor sale. What do you mean by contractor sale?
Contractor obligation.
Contractual obligations.
Contractor obligation.
Okay.
Obligation and responsibility.
Yes, it is a contractor obligation to get the performance security. And continuously it says at his cost. Okay. So who's going to pay for this performance bond?
The,
Technically,
the contractor.
yeah, straight away contractor, but technically who's paying?
Technically, client. It is may will part of the preliminaries.
Yes, it is part of the preliminary. Client is the one, but contractor must include that cost in his bid. Okay, that's the meaning. Okay, so all of you, now no sound. Can you hear me? If I am audible, say audible. So some people not hearing me, they will understand. Audible.
Audible.
Okay. Okay.
Audible.
In text.
Audible. Audible.
Okay. So sometimes it happen. Some people unable to hear because of their connection issue. So in that case, okay, if I am asking you to confirm, you use the chat option to confirm audible because they will understand there are some problem from their end. Okay. So thank you for the confirmation. Performance bond or security. So what is the performance bond purpose? To ensure contractor will perform and complete the project as per the contract. That is the objective. Now, in case contractor not perform well or not deliver the contract, okay, as per agreed way, the employer can call the performance bond. Okay, so the performance bond validity until the performance certificate issued. So when you are going to get the performance certificate after end of the complete the word after end of the what is that? Not taking over certificate. That is wrong.
Text notification
DLP.
period.
DLP.
Okay. Defect liability period or defect notification period. Both are okay. Correct terminology. Until that, after defect notification period end, okay, there are small period for to issue the performance certificate. So until that, the performance bond should be valid. Okay, everyone keep the mic mute, please. So here, okay, the performance bond, we should understand very clearly about this performance bond. Now there are FIDIC Red Book provide two different forms. Okay, in Annex C and the Annex D. Now let us understand all the detail about the performance bond. Okay, so it is very important that you should not miss. So are you all focusing now? You might take some note here. Okay, great. So please observe. It is very important part to understand. So performance bond sometimes referred as a performance guarantee bond or performance security. That guarantee the contractor will perform and complete the project as per the contract agreement. So the amount of this bond, okay, it is usually they will put the percentage on the contract sum. So what is the contract sum? Commonly you can go for a 10 percentage, but sometimes if the risk is very high, they can go for a 15 percentage or more. So do you know what is your contract performance bond value in your project? How many percentage?
10% for us.
Okay, good. So it will be vary depend on the project to project. So, but in general, 10 percentage. Okay, that is first point. Now, in this red book 4.2, we are going to discuss the performance bond is referred as a performance security. So, all of you go to the 4.2. What is the page number? 12. Very good. So, mark it. The
12.
performance security mean performance bond. Okay. Okay. So, the performance bond is referred as a performance security in the FIDIC. And as you know, it is valid and enforceable until the contractor has completed all the work, and if there's any defects, he must remedy all the defects. Then the engineer will issue the performance certificate under subclause 11.9. So remember, until the performance certificate is issued, okay, you must keep this performance bond valid. Okay, so I have referred to one subclause number. What is that? 11.9. Can you mark it here? Otherwise, you might forget. Okay, so until 11.9 performance security certificate is given, you have to keep this validity. So, okay, once the performance certificate is given under the 11.9, the employer must return the performance security to the contractor. There's no other way he can keep the performance security. So when the performance security given, when you are commencing the project, you are going to give the performance bond, and once the performance certificate is given, you are the employer must return the performance bond. So as you said, okay, as you see here, there are two different annex the FIDIC have. So please go through and try to understand. You have to read word by word. Do you understand? I'm not showing you to just read it. You know the page number, everything. So what you must do, you must read and understand, because you are here to become an expert. Okay, so in the annex C, if you can see, the annex C is an example for performance security or demand guarantee. That says, okay, performance security or demand guarantee. We state that the total guaranteed amount is to be paid in the event that the contractor reaches his obligation. That means if the contractor not perform his duty, his performance are not as per the contract. Okay, this whole amount to be paid by the contractor. So now, do you understand why it is very important? Okay, if anybody have the question, please wait until I finish, because this is a very big slide. I have to explain you a lot. You understand? So just wait for a question. I'll give you time. Okay, so it is more pressure on the contractor. He must finish the work in a good manner as per the contract document. Okay, so the total amount is available for a client anytime they can take from the bank if anything breach happen. Okay, so as you know, there's a percentage like a 10 percentage or 20 percentage or 15 percentage, it depends. So this annex C, okay, you can see here, must be authenticated by the employer, okay, bank or lawyer, who as a QS, as a contract manager, you must validate. So how do you check this annex C or the performance bond given by the employer? Sorry, a performance bond given by the contractor to the employer. How do you validate it? Do you remember I have talked to you some checklist in the bid bond, the last class. Do you have the checklist now? Every one of you. Tell me a checklist. Don't tell me one answer. I don't agree. I need a checklist. So one person can open the mic and tell me if you are comfortable. If you have checklist only, otherwise don't tell me one answer and stop. How do you verify a performance bond given to you by the contractor if you work for a consultant or employer? Who's ready?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question again?
How do you verify the performance bond given by the contractor? Do you have a checklist?
It should be in the approved form, approved bank, period, amount.
Very good. Thank you. Yes. As Ms. Serene said, yes, you should be in approved form. So if you have given the form here, okay, same form. And same amount, what you have asked. Same bank which you are requested this bond from. And same validity period. Okay. And also you can validate that bond from the bank itself. Otherwise, you can't just take the risky. Think practically. You are in a consultant side. If you are not sure this bond is really a actual bond from the bank or fake one. Now, even the money also can be printed fake way. No, yes or no? You have the fake currencies in the market. Yes. Do you aware about that? The why bank they have the or exchange center they have the machine to check whether it's the right money or not. So it is to verify. Same way. What about the bond? Can't we prepare? Can be. So therefore, you must verify. So verification is very important. Unfortunately, if you don't verify and somebody enter into the contract with the fake performance bond, and when you are calling the bond because of the breach of the contract, and that time you found the bond is fake. Now, what about the employer mindset about you? Who verified this? Take it seriously. You have to verify carefully all the bond. Otherwise, you can go to the bank and you can check whether this is a validate by them or not. So in generally this performance bond, I will just give some space to draw here so you can understand. Okay, low sound, am I audible or low sound? Say, okay, 1 second. Now okay, good. Confirm. Okay, good. Okay, so I have some space for to do something. Okay. Now look at this one. I'm going to draw one line. Okay, so this is a project start. Okay, all of you can see, no?
Yes.
This is a project end. Okay. So contract start. Okay, there are period. Okay, it's mentioned project to project. Let's say within 28 days of the comma. Okay, letter of acceptance. So there are days should be given in the contract. You have to read your contract. So they have to give the performance bond. Now once the performance bond given, okay, and in the end of the project, employer must issue the one certificate. What is the certificate called? So engineer must do a one certification. What is that? What is the
Taking
term
over
word?
certificate.
Taking over certificate. Okay, so taking over certificate will be issued. Now, once the taking over certificate issued, the date within the taking over certificate will be mentioned. Okay. Keep someone mic that is making noisy, please. So taking over certificate should be issued when the end of the project. Now from there, defect notification period will be start. So defect notification period or defect liability period. Okay, I will repeat. Some people please don't keep the mic on. Okay, mistakenly or purposefully, if you do, it is going to interact the session. In our class policies, whenever you have a question, I will give you time for you to ask. That time, the person who asked the question, others please listen. There's no hurry to run this class. We don't have any objective to finish this program immediately. There's no objective. Unless otherwise you have doubts, we will clear it all. So I will give a time at the end of the lecture series. Okay, so you have time. Now until that one, don't keep mic open because it's going to be a noisy class and nobody can focus. Do you understand? So I'm going to tell so many information that you really need to know. And and also make sure you are using the right ID because we are monitoring your attendance and we want to improve your learning. Okay, and also yes, you take the note whenever I'm saying because you don't find all the information in your career. So you are here to develop your career. So many points I'm giving here. So now defect notification period start once a taking over certificate is issued. Right. So defect during when the defect notification period end, what is the certificate you have to give as an employer or consultant? Performance certificate. Okay. So you have to give the performance certificate. Now when the performance certificate is given, okay, you can go for a final account. Now you should understand this FIDIC, okay, how the starting time when you are going to submit the okay performance bond. Now you should know when it's going to be end. So the validity period from the date, okay, you start, okay, it will go through the taking over certificate, it will go through the defect notification period, okay, and this policy normally expire. Now you have the anticipated date, no, when you are going to go for a defect notification period. You understand? You should have the prediction, right, when you are going to end with the defect notification period. So from that days plus 70 days. You understand? So now what is the validity period of the performance bond? Contract period in simple term plus defect notification period plus 70. So do you understand now? Okay, so this is a period of the performance bond. So normally contractor don't give the performance bond when you start the project. They take some time. So there's a time given like 1 month or depend on the project. Okay. So there's a small gap here from the start to end. But can the contractor claim the interim payment without giving the performance bond? What do you think? No, right? That is you should understand. Okay, so this is the one I want to explain to you, that validity period of this bond. Okay, then let's say you understood that bond is going to be expired after 1 month, but still the project ongoing. Now, what do you have to do? Do you know we discuss about this one, about the advance payment bond in the last lecture? So, what do you do now? Same principle. Anyone? Okay, you want to extend. Okay, so what do you? Who is going to extend? Contractor or employer?
Contractor no.
So, if you are working for a consultant, what do you do? Somebody can explain. Okay, I will tell the process.
You shall
You must
notify
have the
the contractor.
yes. You have to notify the contractor. So you must have the bond
Tracker.
locks. Yeah, bonds. All the bonds and insurance. You must have the logs or tracker. So you must watch Okay, it's going to be end before 1 month. You have to notify, Mr. Contractor, your bond going to be expired. Now you have to renew. Let's say you reach the 4 weeks. You alert the contractor 6 weeks before, nothing happened. Now you reach 5 weeks, nothing happened. You reach 4 weeks, nothing happened. Now you reached third week. He's supposed to renew within 28 days, but he didn't renew. And you reach now 2 weeks only, nothing happened. Now you reach 1 week. As a consultant, now what is the remedy you have?
Encash it.
Yes, you have to encash it. Bond is given and that should be extended. So you have to encash it. So now let's say this is one case, okay? So if there's any problem from the contractor, you have the right to encase it. Let's say the bond need to be extended because of the delay happened by the employer and contractor sell, extend the bond, that should be obligation. But there is a cost or premium that he need to pay for a bondsman to extend, no? There's a premium. Who's going to pay this premium?
The contractor shall pay, then claim it for his running or cost or whatever, if he is entitled to.
Yes, that means employer ultimately. Contractor will pay and claim through the application. So he can make a claims against the employer for the delay. So that's clear. Good. So now Annex D. Now we talk about the Annex C. Now Annex D, surety bond. Is it same demand guarantee and the surety bond? It is required to give the another warning. Yes, yes, you can give a warning. That is better. Otherwise, in a one warning letter, you can say, yes, you have to extend the bond within this time. Otherwise, we will encase. So one letter is enough. Or giving another letter, notice and warning also, that's fine. Nothing harm. Okay, now let us understand the Annex C and the D. Annex C is a demand guarantee. What about the D? Sorry, Annex C is a demand guarantee. Annex D is the surety bond. Okay, so under this form, the contractor and the guarantor are held to a stated bond, that amount, because they have the agreed amount for a performance bond. So they agreed for this particular amount. Now, any default by the contractor or any occurrence that comes under the 15.2. What is the 15.2? What do you think? What do you mean by 15.2? Go and check.
It's a termination by employer.
Yeah.
Yes,
Termination by
termination by employer. So two reasons. Okay, one is any default by the contractor or termination by the employer. Maybe termination by the employer. One of the reason maybe contractor default, but there are other reason also the employer can terminate the contract. Okay, so if that happen, and if the reason because of the contractor default, the guarantor, it's a guarantee, pay the resulting damages. They can go up to the bond amount. So this is slightly different from the demand guarantee, compared to surety bond. Now, if you are a client, will you go for Annex C or D? Tell me, what is comfortable for? Annex C, good. Look at this one, There are something you have to see. Any claim under this bond must be received by the guarantor. This is not that much simple. So therefore you have to be very careful which one you are going for. In general, yes, Annex C is more preferable in Gulf construction, but it's still Annex D also there. So you just be aware about this. Now you should understand. Now there are claims against the performance bond. There are claim against the performance bond. Can happen. One is any prolongation happening because of the employer. He is delaying the project by his own delay. Even you can claim the extension money because it is a compensable delay. So you supposed to receive your performance bond early, but they are delaying it to release. So there are claim you can go for the interest rate, and also you can go for a premium charges you are paying for a bondsman to extend the bond. So that is one. Another one is sometime, let's say this unconditional on demand bond, isn't it? If the employer can go to the bank or bondsman, and if they call, it should be paid. So therefore, if the employer called the bond wrongly, then employer will be in the legal suit. It is not allowed, but it can happen. Say they maybe employer believe there are some default of the contractor, they will call the bond. So what bank will do? The bank will release the performance bond value to the employer without any question, and they will recover it immediately from the contractor. Okay. Now there will be a problem if there's any wrong call happen. Let's say the employer called wrongly the bond, then contractor will claim against the employer for the wrong call. That is going to be a damages claim. Okay. So this is all about the performance bond. Okay. Now all of you go to the 4.2, page number 12. Okay. So this is says very clearly, the contractor shall obtain at his cost a performance security for a proper performance in the amount and the currencies stated in the appendix to tender. Now let's say if amount and currencies are not stated in the appendix to tender, then what will happen? If an amount is not stated in the appendix to tender, this subclause shall not apply. Have you seen similar clauses somewhere else before? Where? Similar.
Advance payment.
Advance payment.
Advance payment. Complete advance payment. Okay, yes, very good. Very good. Advance payment, yes. There's no bond value and all, then that subclause not there. Okay, that's great. Okay, so now when does the contractor not regard to provide the performance bond? Do you have the answer? You know the answer. So what is the answer? Everyone.
If it is not mentioned in the appendix to tender.
Yes. If it is not stated in the contract or upon should tender, then you don't need to pay. You don't need to give it. Okay, that's clear, isn't it? So be careful. You must check it. If you are working for a contractor or employee, you must check this provision. Okay. So continuously you have to read the 4.2. The contractor sale, you marked. Are you marking this all marking here? Are you all marking? Yes. I don't think my voice is low, but am I audible? Loud or low?
Loudly.
Okay, good. So mark this all the terms I am marking here because it is needed for you. So the contractor shall deliver the performance security to the employer within 28 days after receiving of the letter of acceptance, and shall send a copy to the engineer. Okay, so you have time limit. Once you got the letter of acceptance within 28 days, you have to send the performance bond to the employer. The performance security shall be issued by an entity and form from within the country or other jurisdiction approved by the employer, and shall be in the form annexed to the particular condition or in another form approved by the employer. So do you understand all the checklist what we discussed before? In case you are not sure, you done the checklist, but still you are not sure, maybe it is a fake. So what do? Call the bank. Yeah, you have to verify with the bank, not call. Verify with the bank. Okay, that's right wording. Is my voice is breaking? Is there any audible issues with my voice?
Voice is clear.
I think
Voice
you
is
should
clear.
get closer to the mic.
It's clear. Okay. Thank you for the confirmation. Okay. So keep on mark whatever I said. It's very important point for you. Now the contractor shall ensure. The contractor shall ensure the performance security is valid and enforceable until the contractor has executed and completed the work and remedied any defects. Okay. And the contractor has not become entitled to receive the performance certificate by the date 28 days prior to the expiry date. The contractor shall extend the validity of the performance security until the work have been completed and any defect have been remedied. So now you should understand this particular one. What is the validity period of the bond? Now do we understand? I have shown you the timeline. So can you all tell me in a simple word what is the timeline? You do a small mix. Okay. I need a complete timeline. What is the performance bond validity period? Contract period, DLP plus 70.
Period.
Can we do small adjustment? Okay, plus or minus 28 days, right? So minus 28 is not absolutely correct, but it says within 28 days. But that buffer is there. But for easiness, CP plus, that means contract period plus DNP plus 70. Okay, plus or minus 28. Plus or minus, okay, because you can't say not plus, minus that, but not exactly minus, but you have 28 days time. It say within 28 days, right? So you have to give within 7 days or 10 days. Now, if you don't give the performance bond, what is the consequences?
The employer has the right to take the contract, the performance security.
No, if you don't give the performance bond, the consequences are different. No control over the performance. What else? Okay, that is so risky. We will understand. Okay, slowly. So now, what is the validity period of the performance bond as per your contract? You have to check it. Now you understand. Okay, that validity period is there, and you have to return this bond once you issue the performance certificate. So just be careful with that one. Okay. Now, what are the circumstances? What are the other circumstances where the employer is obliged to return the performance bond other than the end of the defect notification period? Do you aware about that one? Anyone? Termination by employer, good. No, not complete the SNEC work. That is wrong. It says sometime employer must return the performance bond. So you know when the defect notification end, performance certificate is given, he need to return the bond to the contractor. But there are other circumstances also, employer must return the bond. So let us understand that one. All of you go to the sub clause 15.5. We have the evidence here. So what is the page number?
48.
Okay, all of you go to the 48. So subclause 15.5 employers entitlement to termination. What is this subclause now? Mark it, okay? Mark it carefully. The employer sale, you have to mark the one I have marked here. The different font. The employer sale, what is that obligation, isn't it? Whose obligation? Employer obligation.
Employer
So
obligation.
employer sale,
Employer
we
obligation.
entitled to terminate the contract at any time for the employer convenience. See this one? It says employer convenience. Now, if that is actually, if the employer don't want to continue with the contractor, he don't need to give any reason. That's what this subclause say. He'll say, okay, for my convenience, I want to discontinue with you. So I'm going to terminate you. That is provision is here. But now we will understand what is this provision says. Employer shall be entitled to terminate the contract at any time for the employer convenience by giving the notice of such termination to the contract. So it says a notice provision. The termination shall take effect 28 days after the letter of the dates on which the contractor receive this notice. This is one pattern. For the second pattern, the employers return the performance security. You understand? You give the notice or return the performance security. Okay, the employer shall not terminate the contract under this subclause in order to execute the works himself or to arrange for the works to be executed by another contractor. Regarding the termination, we will discuss later on. Okay, that's a vast topic and we have to discuss later on. But this provision say employer don't want to continue with the contractor, he shall return the performance security. So once the contractor receive the performance security from the employer, what do you mean by that one? What is that meaning? What is the meaning? What is the title? Termination. You get out from the project. That's what he's saying. I don't need any performance from you hereafter. You just leave the project. That's what he's saying. So this is the one circumstance other than the DNP, end and performance certificate is issued. That time the employer issue, returning the performance bond. But this is something further to that. Okay, this is something further to that. The employer can, return the performance bond in case he don't want to continue with this particular contract. But further to down, he can't terminate this project because he want to give this work to the other contractor. That is not acceptable under this PDIC. Okay, and regarding the termination, we have the different lecture series, so we will learn. Okay, so time being, only performance bond we are focusing. And second clause, subclause 16.4. What is the page number? 50. Okay, so there it says, after a notice of termination under subclause 16.2, termination by the contractor has taken effect, the employer shall promptly return the performance security to the contractor. Okay, so you should understand there are two places. Both are termination, either employer terminate or contractor terminate. But both scenario, the performance bond will go back to the contractor. Okay. You should understand one thing. Termination by the contractor. If you go to the subclause 16.2, okay, all the subclauses against the employer, something employer did wrong. We will discuss later on, okay. But trying to understand, both are the subclauses are there's no problem with the contractor. That's why it says you have to return the bond. Both scenarios under the subclause 15.5 and subclause 16.4, there are no problem with the contractor. There's no default happen, but employer don't want. But in the first scenario, employer cancelling the project. Second scenario, contractor don't want to continue the project because there are a problem with the employer. So under this circumstance only, you are going to return the performance bond. Now let me ask you a question. there is a termination happen because of the contractor default without settling all the claims from the employer, will you release the performance bond?
No.
No. So be sensible. Okay? You can't. Now, what if the say comes and says there's no problem with the contractor, employer don't want to continue, or there's a default one, default done by the employer, therefore a contractor don't want to continue. That is a circumstance you can release. It is not optional. You have to release it. It is an obligation of the employer. Okay, so now continuously we need to understand the employer. Okay, any question? Hold on, we will discuss because this is a little bit vast area. So many questions will be covered. Okay, in upcoming slides. So before I continue with the next topic or next sub clauses, I will talk to you. Okay, so the employer shall not make any a claim under the performance security. So you can't make a claim under the performance security or performance bond except for amount to which the employer is entitled under the contract in the event of failure by the contractor to extend the validity. So remember, I told you, you can't go for a claims on the performance bond, and you can't hold the performance bond in the event of the termination by the employer or contractor if there's no any default, okay, on the contractor. But however, you can go for a claims on the performance bond or security if any failure by the contractor to extend the validity of the performance security, okay, as described in preceding paragraph, in which even the employer may claim the full amount of the performance security. So do you understand what I said to you before? Told you the claim log and how you are going to deal. Yes. So somebody asking question, Hassan, how is going to claim if the performance security expired? No, that is wrong question. Why? You don't wait until the performance security is expiring. Okay, I will explain you if you don't understand. Are you listening me? Confirm. Are you listening me? Yes. Okay. Listen. Look, you had a lock for all the bonds and insurance, isn't it? So now you understood after 4 weeks it's going to be expired. So you call the contractor not before 4 weeks, maybe call before 6 weeks. Mr. Contractor, I need the bond after 2 weeks, the validity with the new validity period. You have to give me. Now you found he didn't bring. Okay, now 3 weeks left. He didn't give. 2 weeks left only. He didn't give. What do you do? Will you wait last moment to get the bond? Read this subclause. You say failure by the contractor to extend the validity. Employer may claim the full amount of the performance security. So it is clearly agreed in the contract. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Are you clear now? So we don't need to wait until last moment. Okay. You have to be, otherwise say it's expired now. What do you do with the expired bond? You can't claim anything. So you lost. You can't go back to the bank and ask, no, you give me the bond. No, they will not. So therefore, you take the money. You have the right to do that one because it is contractor obligation. Now, second one, the failure by the contractor to pay the employer an amount due. There are sometimes employer claim under the subclause 2.5, isn't it? Or any other payment, maybe the contractor need to pay, which is agreed by the contractor or determined under the subclause 2.5, or claims. So within 42 days after this agreement or determination, say failure by the contractor to pay the any amount due, which is agreed, what you do normally? Will you go for a performance bond and encash it? But this subclause say, yes, you can do that one. But what is the right practice? Tell me. Is there any provision that we don't touch the bond but we can do alternatively. Somebody can say, is there any alternative way without touching the bond? Under the
Deduct
B?
it from his interim payments.
Yes, direct from the interim payment. That's way. That's a good way. Let's say he need to pay you 1 million, whereas he is claiming the interim payment application 2 million. So you deduct 1 million and give 1 million back. That is one way. Now let's say the another case. The damages sustained or the amount agreed for an employer is 1 million, whereas the interim payment value only 500,000. Now what do you do?
Then we have a retention, so we can deduct it from the retention.
Forget about the retention. Why? It is still need to be retained. Let's say that retention amount is not that much when you reaching the final. Let's say if you are reaching the end of the project only, that will reach the approximately 5%, isn't it? So maybe that is small amount, maybe.
At first,
So
I will
what is
look if he
ultimate?
has an approved. I will look first if he has an approved variations. Then I will treat it. If he don't have, then I will encash the security and return for him the balance money immediately.
Now, if can you return the balance full amount until you give the performance security or performance? What do you think? Okay.
I think we will, يعني the client has to take, the employer has to keep the amount of the performance security until
Yes.
the contractor provide a new one.
Yes, that's true. So he can go for a new bond, but you don't take a risk if you feel that contractor cannot pay. So yes, third one, failure by the contractor to remedy a default within 42 days after receiving no sound. Just confirm everyone. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, you are audible. Few minutes ago. Can you repeat that?
Okay, thank you for the confirmation. So yes, it says failure by the contractor to remedy a default within 42 days after receiving the employee notice. Yes, so you have to give the notice to remedy. If he not remedy any defect, then you can call the performance bond. Because why performance bond standing for a proper performance of the contract. If the proper performance of the contract not met, then you can call the bond. That is very clear. Okay, in the fourth one, the circumstances which they entitle the employer to terminate under subclause 15.2, termination by employer, irrespective of whether notice of termination has been given. Now this D, okay, this D, the fourth one, is very clearly not for a employer default. It is for a contractor default. You understand? Contractor not perform the contract, then employer has the right to call this bond. Otherwise, employer shall not make any claim under the performance security. Is it clear? Only A, B, C, D. There is no any other things he can go for a claim under this. Okay, so the question, when can employer, okay, claim performance bond? So do we have the answer now? Yes or no? Yes. One is failure by the contractor to extend the validity of the performance bond, or failure by the contractor to pay the employer claim, okay, or failure by the contractor to remedy any default. Okay,
Manas,
if
excuse
someone,
me. Hello.
go ahead, yeah.
With regards to point C, failure by the contractor to remedy a default within 42 days. Are we talking during the DNP period here?
Oh, it could be anything. Let's say DNB,
Okay.
you don't go the remedial things normally. It should happen before taking over certificate issue, right? Now let's say there are some time what they do, they agree punch list, or sometimes it's called as a snug list, right? So something like a to-do list. They agree, then it can go for a DNP period. Otherwise, normally it is during the contract period.
Okay. So given it is during the contract period, the notice was sent to the contractor to remedy the default, and he did not. Now, as an employer QS, I liquidate the entire performance security or liquidate the value of the remedy from the performance security.
No, you can't any bonds. You can't go for a partial claim. If you call, it will be full amount.
And then return the balance?
No, in this case, no.
In this case, no. I claim it all.
Yes, because you must keep the performance bond until CP plus DNP plus 70 days, right? That is your right.
Correct.
So, yes. So you have to keep until that period. That is you have the rights.
Okay. Because I mean, okay, fine. Thank you.
Munas, I think for all the 4 points, we have to keep full amount, correct? A, B, C, D, all when we recover, we have to keep it full amount.
Yeah, because it is not something. Okay, one you can go for a partially. Another thing is you have the right to keep until the validity period. So it's very clearly say you have the right to do for a ABCD under the 4.2. So yes, you have the right. You can keep the balance money with you.
Yeah. If we encase before that period, whatever the period we discussed, then what happened? The balance we'll ask a new bond.
No, you keep the balance money unless if you give the new bond, you release the money. Otherwise, you keep the money with you because failure by the contractor to remedy the default, right? That's very clearly. Or failure by the contractor. All failure by the contractor. So they have the responsibility.
Okay. Thank you.
Because we don't know what.
Mr. Munas.
Let me finish that answer. One second. Let me finish that answer. Now we don't know until the performance certificate issue what kind of performance issue we are going to face with the contractor. Yes or no? Can we predict it? Can you do a prediction? What kind of performance issue going to become? Now let's say you have the contract just now started or after 6 months. Okay, still we have to go until the performance certificate. So you can't release that amount. Okay, and worst case scenario only you are going for this ABCD. You can't straight away, just encase it or call it. First, let's say failure by the contractor to extend the validity. Have you not sent the instruction to extend the bond? Have you not do that one as an engineer? What do you think? Have you not done any instruction? Failure by the contractor to pay the amount. Have you not instructed them? You instructed them. They didn't obey. Then you don't have any other issue. We don't have any other option other than the calling the bond. Is that clear now? Okay. Somebody trying to ask question.
So this clause C, failure by the contractor to remedy a default within 42 days, receiving the employer's notice. Generally, the notice is issued by the engineer, right?
Yeah. So, but
to remedy the default.
Who's the engineer? Employer?
Representative. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yes. So that means it is engineer notice.
Okay.
There's a contract between the employer and the contractor only, isn't it? So therefore, some clauses, if you see engineer responsible, that means ultimately it's the employer responsible.
Okay.
But here employer notice mean who's going to do the notice? Engineer.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Shall we move on? So if you have any further question, okay, it
I have a
could be
small doubt.
clarified. Yeah, go ahead.
So
if we say the advance payment is 100 million, and due to some default, we have to deduct 20 million. So we are encashing the bond. So now we have balance 80 million. As per the contract, we have to give 100 million, right? So does
I
the
didn't get this question.
contractor?
Can you repeat
Yeah, yeah.
again?
Okay, the performance security is 100 million.
Okay.
So due to some default, we have to claim 20 million from the contractor. So we are encashing the bond. So the balance amount is 80 million and we are keeping it. But as per the contract, we have to keep 100 million, right? So does the contractor has to pay us the balance 20 million again?
Yes, you are right. You are right. Absolutely. Everybody understood his question? Now we agreed in the contract 100 million. That is the value of the performance bond. Let's say under the 4.2, either A, B, C, D, any issue happen, 20 million is due, and you take the bond and you claim the 20 million from the bond. So still you have to 80 million only balance. Now tell me how much the contractor need to give you as a performance bond? 20.
20 million.
No. Total? How much? You have 80 million
100.
only now.
100.
But you have 80 only. So 20 he need to give you either bond or case. But bond is better. So what he need to do? He need to give a new performance bond. Okay, that's what he's asking. He's right. Yes. That's what we agreed, isn't it? So it is not going to be gradually reduced like advance payment bond. Do you understand? It is not going to be reduced like a gradually through like an advance payment bond. Is that clear now? That is not we agreed here. That is not what the contract says. It is until the performance certificate issued. That means contract period plus DNP period plus until plus 70 days, you should have the full amount. Okay, so you can't have the less amount. Then what do you agree? Is it clear? Yeah, plus or minus 20, not plus, minus 28 days approximately.
I think Munas, there are one question I also want to ask. If it's variation added, then performance bond amount also we have to adjust.
No. That we agree, discussed in the last class also. For insurance, bond, no, not insurance, sorry. For all the bonds, we always keep the amount which is accepted contract amount. Okay, originally when you are signing the contract. And the contract value will keep on changing by the plus or minus or claims. We don't stick with that value. Otherwise, it is going to be difficult to manage all the bonds. You have to keep on change every month, new validity with the different amount. That's a problem. Okay.
Mr. Munas, subclause C stated a default. So a small chip of tile is a default. How that can be monitored? How the contractor can secure himself?
Repeat again.
What I was saying is, paragraph C stated that failure by the contractor to remedy a default.
Yes.
A default. This is a term is very risky for the contractor. A small crack is a default.
For a small
so how
crack,
to secure?
it is a minor things. Then you have another safeguard with you, instead of performance bond. What is that?
Retention, you mean?
Yes, you can use the retention.
No, but what I'm telling is, as per contractually, it's a default, correct? So contractually, he can go and encash it.
Yes, if default happen, isn't it?
Yeah, but a default. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understood your question. What you're talking about, the value of the default, that is subjective.
Exactly.
If it is a small value, you go for a retention money. If it is a big value, you go for a retention bond. Either way, you have to recover.
Correct, but as a contractor, how I'll secure myself? If it is a small and he went and just dropped this and encash it, what shall the contractor do?
That is dispute. You have to agree. But in principle, okay, you have the obligation. Let's say, regardless, everyone listen carefully. Okay. Now, what is his question here? Contract. Let's say employer had some problem. Say a floor tile is broken. What is that? Floor tile is broken. 2-3 tiles broken. It's like a 10,000 square foot floor area. How many tiles broken? What I said?
2 to
I need
3.
to
2-3
2
tiles.
to 3. So how approximately how many square foot maybe? Let's say less than 5, 10. Okay, worst case. Okay, let's say 5 square. Now, employer told Mr. Contractor, you have to rectify the damage. Contractor was didn't do. Okay, as you supposed to do. If you supposed to do, there's no claim here. He just can replace everyone. Please keep the mic. So if he replaced these 2-3 tiles, there's no claim here. There's no calling for a performance bond or retention money. Now what is happening? Contractor didn't do that one. After several reminders and the notification, you can't just call the bond. Okay, you have to send the notification reminder. You have to do proper meeting, discussion, everything. Okay, everything when nothing happened. Now employer, okay, can employer go and replace entire 10,000 square foot because contractor didn't do? No, you can't punish like that. What you can do, the employer now going to put the team to do that one. Maybe he need to put the procurement team. There's another team he need to hire. So whatever the cost, claim mean you are compensating the actual losses or cost incurred. You have to prove the actual cost or loss incurred in order to claim back. So you can't claim 10,000. You can claim those tiles and the impacted works and the associated cost. So that is how you have to justify. Otherwise, let's say contractor change entire floor tile. Now he previously it was a white color. Okay, floor tile. Now he want to change it to the black color. So he take this advantage. Now contractor didn't do no. So I will do different color, whatever like. I will go for a different specification or different quality, good quality, better than before, and I will claim the bond. Is that the right way? Can't entertain like that. Okay, so you understood now? Yes or no? Do you understood now? Yes. Okay, good. Okay, that's what I said. It's very important topic, this bond. So let's continue. It's not finished. The employer sale, mark this all. Okay, employer sale. Now this is a point I discussed with you. Indemnify. What is that indemnify? You can't go for a wrong claims. You can't unnecessarily put the cost on the contractor. Indemnify and hold the contractor harmless against and from all the damages, losses, and expenses, including legal fees and expenses, resulting from a claim under the performance security. Do you understand what is this meaning? The example I told you. Okay, keep in mind, which the employer was not entitled to make the claim. Yes? Do you understood that point? It's a safeguard for the contractor. You can't just entertain the bond. Okay. It should be reasonable. Always claims are should be with the records, contemporary records only you can claim. Employer shall return the performance security to the contractor within 21 days after receiving a copy of the performance certificate. Okay, so that is an obligation of the what? Employer, isn't it? Okay. So what is performance certificate and why it is required? Okay. Why it is that? Anyone knows?
It means that the contractor have remedied the defects during DNP.
Okay, like experience letter, no? Performance letter that you are giving. Okay, this contractor was performing well. There's no problem. We can clear the final payment. That's what you are saying. Performance certificate. Then only you can release the performance bond. Okay. What if the performance certificate, okay, not issued to the contractor after defect notification period? Okay, That you have to understand. So performance certificate is defined under the subclause 1.1.3.8. So it means under the performance certificate under subclause 11.9. So we'll have a separate discussion about the performance certificate. Here now look at this one, 11.9. Now 11.9 very clearly says, all of you go to the 11.9. What is the page number?
34. 34.
Very good. The performance of the contractor's obligation shall not be considered to have been completed until the engineer has issued the performance certificate to the contractor, stating the date on the which contractor his obligation under the contract. So do you remember the taking over certificate? Okay. Date, stating the date. Do we had the same similar wording in the taking over certificate? We have to state the date. Yes or no? So we need this certificate. Yes, under the TOC. Yes, it was there. So we have to, okay, as an engineer, you have to give this letter that confirm contractor perform well. It is saying he didn't complete the work. So engineer shall, it's obligation of the engineer, isn't it? Engineer shall issue the performance certificate within 28 days after the latest of the expiry dates of the defect notification period. Or as soon as thereafter as the contractor has supplied all the contractor's document and completed and tested all the work including remedying any defects. A copy of the performance certificate shall be issued to the employer. Only the performance certificate shall be deemed to constitute acceptance of the works. So do you understand? It is very clear. If performance certificate not issued, what do you mean by that? The contractor not perform well. There are something pending to done by the contractor. Okay. Now the question is, what if the performance certificate is not issued to the contractor after defect notification period? Now let's take the case one. Case one, where contractor had a default. Okay. So what is your answer for case one? Contractor had a default. So engineer no need to issue the performance certificate because he didn't perform well. There are something to rectify. So what is your answer? What is the consequences thereafter? No, there's an issue. What is the issue? As a consultant or a contractor, you think from your angle. What do? You don't get the performance certificate. What is the problem here for you?
You cannot cash the performance bond.
Yes. He can't return. Yeah, you can't have your return performance bond. Okay. Then what else? This point is correct. Okay. What else?
The contractor is still valid. He is not still not get out from the contract. He is still valid
Yes,
to
still
do the
contractor
whatever.
obligation is there. And what is the third one?
He risks
Returns
the
and
encashment of his
very
bonds.
good. Third one. Yes, returns and will valid. You have to hold it. Okay. What is the fourth one?
He
Final
gets the
account
risk.
can't.
He risks to encash it.
What is the fourth one? Final account. You can't
Yeah,
go for
final.
a final. Yes.
May not
You
be
can't
issued.
go for a final account. Yes, very good. You don't. An engineer doesn't have any responsibility to issue the final payment certificate. Final account will not be closed. And very worst things. Okay. You mark all the point. Okay. Very worst case. It will leading to the dispute. It is going to lead the dispute. That is not a good symptom. This is case one. Now let's talk about the case two. The case two, there's no default of the contractor. Engineer shall issue the performance certificate within 28 days. Okay. the latest of the expiry dates of the defect notification period. But he didn't perform the duty. Contractor has nothing to do further. And he can't go for a final account because there's no performance certificate given by the engineer. He delayed. Now, how do you deal with the case 2? How do you deal? I'm not hearing anyone of answer. Okay, whatever is.
You should
just
notify. You should notify the engineer about that. That your entitlement for the performance certificate.
Yes. Now he didn't respond you. You know, some engineers are they can delay. Yes. It is not a prolongation claim. Okay, prolongation is happening during the contract period. That means project deliverable.
Yeah, and yeah, can I back in?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, somehow the claims you could only submit before the TOC, because the TOC, when a TO somehow in some contract, when the TOC is already issued, you cannot claim more like a variation or claims.
No, that is subjective, because some contract says they can instruct the variation until the taking over certificate. Some contract says they can instruct the variation until performance certificate. So depends. Okay.
Depends. Okay. So meaning it depends, because some contracts, like in our contracts, that it says that in the TOC you are no longer the contractor, or either in the case that they're not entitled to submit the claims after the taking over
Subclause
certificate has been issued.
13.1. Okay. It says 13.1. What is the page number? 13.1. Page number. My voice is low.
36.
Am I audible?
36.
Okay. Read that first paragraph. Variation may be initiated by the engineer at any time prior to issuing the taking over certificate. So what VDIC 99 say? After taking over certificate issued, can you instruct the variation? No. But some contracts, be careful, okay? Some contracts, they allowed up to performance certificate. So that is subjective. Now I will come back to the case 2. Let's say there's no problem with the contractor, but engineer unnecessarily delay the issuance of the performance certificate. Therefore, contractor cannot claim the retention, he can't claim the final account, he can't claim the whole payment performance bond. So what he will do now? If you are a contractor, you stuck in this situation, what you will do? It's a direct answer. What do you do, everyone?
Case.
He can recover the performance bond.
You have to understand the question now. It is not a contractor problem. It is an employer delay or engineer not doing his job properly. He didn't issue the performance certificate because of his delay. There's nothing left to the contractor to do a remedy or any completion of the work. No, he done everything.
It will be a dispute.
Yes, it will be a dispute. Because engineer sale, whose obligation ultimately, technically whose obligation here? Indirectly, who's responsible?
It's engineer's obligation.
It's an employer, isn't it? So engineer is an employer. So client. So they failed to do their job. It's a breach of contract. They didn't obey the sale obligation within 28 days. Within 28 days, if they had any comments, no, contractor, you have to finish this work. Then yes, that is case 1. Okay. So you understood all of them. Now, is there any question on the performance bond? Is it all clear? I hope all the information I have given.
Munas, only small question. We have he did the work, and wherever there are some default, client cover the amount from the performance bond, and there are some amount is balanced. So after this performance certificate and everything, the balance money need to give to contractor. Huh?
Yes, sale return. That means sale you can't hold it.
Okay, whatever the amount we recover and the balance should be returned. Okay, thank you.
Immediately after when it's come due to send him back, you have to send all money. Otherwise, he can claim the interest against you for the delayed return, or they can even call for some other claims. So you should immediately do that one. Okay. So now there are some more we should understand. All of you go to the subclause 11.7, page number
34.
34.
Very good. So today we need to complete this bond, okay, because it is a little bit bigger one and we need to understand carefully. So we might go okay, a little bit extended time. So just bear about that one. So 11.7, what it is says, until the performance certificate has been issued. Again, we talk about the performance certificate. The contractor shall have such right of access to the works as reasonably regard in order to comply with this clause, except as may be inconsistent with the employer reasonable security restriction. Okay, so this right of access. Do you understand? So this is a connection of the subclause which is connected with the subclause performance certificate. You understand? So 11.9 you have to write under that somewhere below by pencil. Okay, 11.7. That means unless until the performance certificate is issued, contractor okay can go to the site. That means contractor shall have such right. He can go and visit the site. Once the performance certificate is issued, now contractor should get out from the project. You understand? So this is a connected subclause. So have you all marked down under the 11.9? This is 11.7 is connected. So why I'm connecting these subclauses? You can't read any terms and conditions under the contract separately. So now you know how many subclauses we have now touched for the performance bond. You understand? So same way this is connected. So right of access. Right of access is the contractor has a right to access the site.
You are connecting subclause 11.7 by 11.9. I did not get you. Sorry.
Unless you get the performance certificate, you still have the right to access the site as a contractor. Do you understand?
Okay.
Yes. Now 14.12, page number. All of you go to the 14.12.
45.
45, yes. Okay, this says when submitting the final statement, contractor, final statement means what? What is the equal word for a final statement? I was telling you one synonym for the statement in FIDIC. What is that? What is that? Similar word.
Payment application.
IPA.
No, statement. A payment.
Of
Okay, final
completion.
payment.
Final payment application.
Yes. So the statement here means the payment. So final account, what we say ultimately. So when submitting the final account, the contractor shall look at this obligation. And others just keep the mic mute. The contractor shall submit a written discharge which confirm that the total of the final statement represent full and final settlement of all monies due to the contractor under or in connection with the contract. This discharge may state that it become effective when the contractor has received the performance security and the outstanding balance of this total in which even the discharge shall be effective on such date. So, this subclause very simple. What it is says, when you are going for a final statement, I mean, when you are going for a final statement, you have to give a discharge letter. That is called subclause 14.12, discharge. You are saying as a contractor, no more claim. After you give the discharge letter, later on, can you come and talk to the employer? Look, I forgot to include some claims or some money you do under this contract. Can you entertain that? No, you can't. Okay. So you have to claim all the things. Remember, I was challenging about the subclause. Last subclause, there are no provision given for a retention money to recover if they are not recovering from the final payment or final account. Do you remember now? Because once you give the discharge letter, can you come and say, no, I missed the 20% of the retention money, which is, according to the contract, only 40/40 for a partial handing over. So I missed the 20. Can I claim it now? That is something not correct practice, because you can claim, yes, as per the Sharia law, you have your rights. You have the contractual ambiguity, right? Because of the contractual ambiguities, right, the law will work for a contractor. But again, that is wrong practice. So we should rectify those mistakes. Do you understand? So once you give the discharge letter, as a professional, do you think it is better to go and ask the employer again further money? What do you think? How they feel about you? So we should avoid that one. So again, the performance security is connected here. This discharge may state that it becomes effective when the contractor has received the performance security. So look at this performance security. Okay. So are you going to mark the subclause under which subclause? Tell me. Which subclause? Under the, yes, performance security. So it is connected to the performance security. Even you can talk to the, you can talk about the 11.92. Yes. Fine. So don't forget these interconnected subclauses. Now this is a question. What are the consequences if the contractor does not provide the performance bond? Now tell me, if you not provide the performance bond, what do you do? Do you have the contractual obligation here? Yes, we have the obligation as a contractor to provide the performance bond, but he does not. So do you have the contractually answer for this question? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 points I have given. Okay, do you have your note with you? Yes, I sent already. Yes or no? Yes. Can you mark it the answer? Okay, note down first number 1, 2.1. Number 1, 2.1. What is 2.1? What is 2.1? Write the answer here, okay?
It's the right to access to site.
Tell me the subclause name. Right to access the site. Yes, very good. So no access. No access, okay? That's it. Number 2, no advance payment. Now remember, you discuss about the advance payment, right? So when you don't give the performance bond, you don't have the right to call for advance payment, even though you give the advance payment bond. So no advance payment. 14.2. Write down here, okay? 14.2, no advance payment. 14.6, no payment certification. It's very clearly say under the 14.6, no amount will be certified or paid until the employer has received and approved the performance security. So 14.6, no payment certification. And the last one, 15.2, okay? 15.2, all of you go to the 15.2. A.
Termination.
15.2 A.
Page 47.
Page 47. note down 15.2a, subclause A. What is the subclause A? Somebody read. It says what?
Fails to comply with subclause
To
4.2 or with a notice on
Termination.
subclause
Okay.
15.1.
Yes, it is a termination by the employer. So 15.2a, termination by the employer. So now do you understand what are the consequences if the contractor does not provide the performance bond? Okay, have you all done with that one? Have you noted this answer?
Yes,
You must
yes.
know. You must know, okay, how to now deal with your project. Okay. Okay, when is an employer entitled to not to grant access to the site? Do you have the answer right now? You know the answer already. When?
Performance security is not provided.
Not provide performance security.
Very good. Good answer. So now we know what is our rights and obligation. Okay. So no access, no performance bond, don't come to the site. That's all the employer is saying. So no performance bond, don't come to the site. No access to the site for you. Now return the performance bond the employer to the contractor. What is that meaning? Don't come to the site hereafter. That means termination. So do you understand how the bonds are playing the important role here? Okay. So yes, you understood 2.1. The employer shall give the contractor right of access. Okay. But employer may withhold any such right or possession until the performance security has been received. So my point here, this last two line. Can you all mark here under the 2.1? One mark here. Have you marked this 2.1 before? Yes or no? Are you sure? You marked? Now let's move on. Subclause 14.6. What I am saying here, I give you the answer here. You understood? I have given the answer 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's the answer is displaying here. Okay. Do you understand? Yes or no? I'm just putting the reference only. So that answer repeating here. Now the question. Is it possible to increase the value of the performance security after signing the contract? What do you say?
No.
No. Straight answer. Huh? Everyone say no. Okay, some people say yes. Okay, let us understand what this subclause. Is it possible to increase the value of the performance security after signing the contract? Now, in FIDIC, what we are agreeing the accepted contract amount when you are signing the contract. It's not a amount that's going to be variable with the variation of claims. My voice is low. Please confirm. I'm talking in the same pitch. But
It's very clear.
fine. Okay, good. Now I increase the volume also. Okay. So now, yes, this subclause 11.5. All of you go to the 11.5. Page number
34.
Okay. So you have to mark the one I have marked here. Okay. So in the 11.5, if the defect or damage cannot be remedied, okay, on the site and the employer give concern, the contractor may remove from the site for the purpose of repair such item of plant as a defective or damage. This concern may regard the contractor to increase the amount of the performance security by the full replacement cost of those items or to provide the other appropriate security. Okay, so do you understand now? Now, what is the answer? Is it possible to increase the value of the performance security after signing the contract? Yes or no? Yes. Only this comes. Okay, it's very clearly says. And also, 11.5. Is very important. Now, look what it is giving the signal to us. Somebody had a question, right? If the performance bond is encased, in order to compensate the some default done by the contractor. Okay, do you understand now? You can't have the lesser amount of the performance bond for an upcoming project or upcoming period of the contract. You must always keep the enough money for this performance bond. So that bond cannot be changed. But it can be increased because of one nature they have put under the 11.5. Such a hidden sub clause, isn't it? Have you ever noticed this before? Have you ever noticed this sub clause before? Okay. So note down one point over the 11.5. This is could bring a employer claims. Pencil, okay? This could bring this if this happening, this could bring also the employer claim sometime. What if the contract value has increased due to variation? Can performance bond value can be increased? What is the answer for others? Someone explain
No.
me.
No.
Why?
Because you have already agreed on the
Original
contract.
contract.
It has
Yes,
been
that's the answer.
agreed over there.
Yeah, it is not going to be proportionate to the revised contract amount. It is going to be always stick with the original contract value. But this 11.5 is something different. It's not a variation. It is something a removal of the defective works. Okay, so it's not a variation. Okay, now parent company guarantee. Okay, so let's continue complete this lecture today. Okay, maybe we go another 15 to 20 minutes, and next week we will start the new one. Otherwise, we will be delaying this program. Are you all okay to go ahead? I have a little more to run, not too much. I think we are here.
Okay.
I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I think 6, 7 slide only. So let's finish it off. Okay, so parent company guarantee. Okay, let us understand what is a parent company guarantee. Now, what is parent company guarantee? The FIDIC Red Book Annex A contain an example form of parent company guarantee. The purpose of this guarantee is that the parent company, can you please minimize the screen? Is there any problem with the screen?
No.
Anyone? No. Okay. Okay. I think you have to adjust your software. Maybe you have some problem with the software. Okay. So let me continue. So in the FIDIC Red Book, the Annex A, there's a form for a parent company guarantee. The purpose of this guarantee, the parent company, okay, see what is the parent company? Sometime, okay, the small company starting a business in a new place, whereas the parent company, or their main branches or main, bodies already running the business. So this small company not trusted by the stakeholder or business entities, but they know about the parent company. So what this parent company guarantee say? First of all, you should understand what is a guarantee and bond. Okay, we will discuss that. So this guarantee mean is a guarantee. If anything went wrong, this parent company will indemnify the employer against all the damages or losses or expenses that come from the contractor failure or his performance issue under this contract. So this is going to be valid until the same way performance bond valid. But the thing is, why the parent company guarantee come? Why? What about the then performance bond? Because sometimes the contractor unable to get the performance bond. Okay, maybe the bank won't give you. So that is a situation. Okay, this is come. So the information here, banks may be reluctant to provide the performance guarantee when a new company enter the market or new geographical area. In such situation, the new company's parent company or the subsidiary will guarantee that the new contractor will perform according to the contract. If the contractor fail to perform, the parent company will step into fulfill the contract. So that is understanding of this one. So is it
If they
clear?
are not standing on very strong financial grounds, right?
Repeat again.
I said that if the company is not standing on a very solid or strong financial grounds, he's not financially strong. That's why they don't give them performance bond or
Yeah,
anything.
there are so many reasons the banks may be reluctant. That's what it says. So there may be so many reasons. So it may be one of the reason is financially maybe not strong or they don't trust them, right? They don't know them. Likewise. Okay, that is parent company guarantee. Okay, so if the contractor not providing the performance bond, instead of offering a parent company guarantee, okay, but instead offering a parent company guarantee along with the 10% discount, what is your advice? The performance bond is always much better, but now they are coming with the parent, performance instead of performance bond, parent company guarantee and 10% discount. What do you say? Will you agree?
It depends on the financial situation of the parent company itself. So
No,
if
answer
the
me.
parent
What do you do?
if the parent company is financially good, then we advise that it's okay for the employer to go with this contractor.
Okay. If somebody say no, what is your answer? Can you explain why did you say no?
There should be a clause for this instead of a performance security.
Okay, now let us understand this case. Okay.
In my opinion,
Sorry, I was muted. Engineer, right? Unmute your mic.
So, in my opinion, the
yeah,
parent
what I
company
was
guarantee.
saying is, from practical point of view, once the client saw even 5% discount, he will accept it. So if he saw 10%, he will accept it for sure. This is from practical point of view.
Okay, next one. Somebody trying to answer. Go ahead.
So I think the parent company guarantee is not an unconditional bond. So you need a reason to claim it, I think.
No, that is wrong answer. I will explain why. Okay. Okay, just focus everyone. Is a parent company guarantee is a bank bond? It does have any monetary value? What do you think? Parent company guarantee is a bank bond. Can you go and encase some money from the parent company guarantee? No, it's a guarantee. Okay, it's a guarantee. It's not a bond.
Yeah.
So, okay, so just listen. Okay, I'm just giving some point here for you to understand. So practically, we will understand how to deal this. So the parent company guarantee is not a bank bond. A bank bond is a debit security issued by the bank. They will promise you, they will do the payment if anything went wrong as per the terms and conditions.
Yeah.
Keep the mic mute, please. Okay. So now, on other hand, the parent company guarantee is a commitment or promise provided by the parent company in order to support their subsidiary. It is not a financial bond, but it's kind of an assurance. The parent company will come and help if anything went wrong with this company. Okay. So yeah, we see the already parent company guarantee, the sample form. Now, what is the answer you can go? Yes, see the parent company guarantee some kind of a protection only, but it is not such a reliable instrument like a performance bond. So if it is the contractor possible to get the performance bond, you go for a performance bond because that is risky, because see normally 10 percentage discount. Now they are coming and giving, okay, let's say they are coming and giving 10 percentage of the discount. Think monetary wise, how much the performance bond value you are going to call for it? 10 percentage, right? So yeah, is it matching? So it is matching. Yes, they are going to give the 10 percentage as a discount. Now you have performance bond. No, you don't have the performance bond, but you have the parent company. Now you have to look at carefully. Is that parent company is a really a good brand or good remarks? We can trust them. If they are no risk, you can go with that. Otherwise, you have to be very careful with this. Okay, because the breach of the contract, default of the contract can happen anytime. So that is risky.
Excuse me, Manas.
Yes.
If so, in the interview, I was asked this question, and my straight answer was I will not accept the discount, regardless and irrespective of the guarantor or this company guarantee that he's providing. My straight advice to the client is I'll only accept a proper bond. Will I be penalized?
No. That's also correct answer, because you need a performance bond. You didn't say. Normally, you don't call for a parents company guarantee in the contract, right? In the FIDIC, you are specifically talk about the performance bond. If no performance bond, no access, no payment, nothing, isn't it?
Yes.
So your answer is straightforward. But I am talking practically in the business world.
All right. Thank you.
You understood, no? Everybody clear or not? We talk in a two perspective. One is contractual, another one business perspective. How to deal? Okay, good. Now payment bond. Have you heard the payment bond? Okay, before go for a payment bond. Okay, I have to give you some more information about this. Okay, so listen carefully.
Manas,
Yeah, go ahead.
engineer,
Yeah,
for the payment company guarantee, I can
parent company
claim,
guarantee.
yeah, I can claim the money from the parent company.
It's not a bond.
Yani, I can't ask them for any money, so what? It's guarantee for what?
It's not like a bond. It is just an assurance. Okay, they have to come and rectify the damage. There's no monetary value in that guarantee. It's just a
Yani,
guarantee.
Yani, I
If they
can't.
don't help in the future,
Yeah. So for that, okay, you have to wait little more. So what we will do at the end of this, we will discuss about the what we can say. What is guarantee? What is warranty? What is a bond? So you will get some clarity. Do you understand? It will come at the last slide.
Okay.
But in time being, no, it is not the monetary value bond. You can claim the money from the parent company. They are not a bank given. It's just a company. They are giving assurance. Okay. So what I am trying to say, one more point. Okay, 1 second. Am I audible now? Okay. Okay. Just allow me 1 second. Okay, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay, okay. So let's move on. This particular slide, I want to give you some more advice. Before you agree, okay, before you agree the performance guarantee or parents company guarantee, okay, you must technically, okay, you have to evaluate the circumstance. Now maybe you can ask some financial advice. Okay, maybe they know about the company or proper accounting professional whether that parent company is good enough to okay uh, compensate in case anything went wrong. You have to do a thorough check. Otherwise, just accepting the parent company, not that you have to be very careful. Okay. Now we will move on to the payment bond. So have you heard about the payment bond before? Anyone? Have you heard about the payment bond? No. Okay.
Not really. Only LC.
Yes. So payment bond means okay, it is not applicable. Mostly we are not using in the Gulf region, but it is kind of a surety that by the employer that he will pay the contractor as agreed. Now look, payment delay is the main root cause in the so many dispute in the construction. Yes or no? That is the main reason. So the contractor employer agree that any payment issue, they are not going to delay, they will pay on time. So payment bond is a surety that employer pay the contractor as agreed. So in the FIDIC, we have the Annex G. Okay. So we have the Annex G. Let me ask you now, are you all okay to continue another 2-3 minutes? So let's finish this, at least this slide.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
we'll continue.
Maybe we can continue if anything remain next lesson. Okay. So now the FIDIC, it's unusual, no? Unusual. Come again?
So we have until 10 o'clock, so go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So FIDIC is unusual compared to other form of contract what we have in this world. Okay. They don't have the type of bond which is called payment bond. So this is kind of a fair practice since employer asking so many bonds and guarantees and insurance. There's no guarantee given by the employer to the contractor. Therefore, human. So why it is very important? It's make sure the employee paying the contractor timely. There's no payment delay. So that is very safeguard to the contractor. Now, this is kind of a surety guarantee. Surety guarantee. Okay, there's a certain limitation. Let's say how they are calculating this value of the bond. Maybe interim payment application. There are less value, high value, so they will take some certain value. Let's say a highest value of the IPA amount or average value of the IPA amount. They might have the cash flow forecast. Do you understand? We have the cash flow forecast. So if you have the cash flow forecast, which is approximate, you might calculate this value. So that value they will agree mutually. Okay. So the contractor is kind of a comfortable if they have this kind of bond. Okay. So, but there will be a problem, as I told you, agreeing the bond value, sometime there will be a bargaining. Otherwise, that's all okay. But now, can contractor claim the payment bond wrongfully? What do you think? No. you can't go for a wrongful claim of this bond. Okay. And next I have the material offside bond. Then I have, okay, I think 2 slides only, so we can finish it. Material offside bond. What is a material offside bond? Look, we will learn about the material on-side and off-side, which is very important. Okay. Now let's say the material on-side, you look at this material at side, right? That is material on-side. Now what is the material off-side? Okay. This is bond that you have to contract to the employer. Okay. If the material not yet arrived at site and it is somewhere in the factory or outside of the site. So this bond, you can have a understanding here under the subclause 14.5. All of you go to the subclause 14.5. So some employer agree to pay the, they agree to pay the material offside. So the material offside bond is needed. So from the employer perspective, the benefit of paying early for material offside, there are, it is good for a program because there won't be no delay from the contractor side on the procurement side. On the other hand, the contractor cash flow will be better. So these are the objective. The material, offside is paid. So material offside need the material offside bond. Okay. So now in this subclause, what they say, if you are an engineer, how do you certify the payment for a material offside? Okay. So all of you go to the subclause 14.5. What is the page number?
42.
42.
Okay. So in the 42, it says, okay, if you can go and see, there's a subclause. Okay, there's a subclause 14.5b. Go to the third point. The relevant plant and material. What it says? You have to, okay, you have to give this 3 point under the 14.5b, third point. Okay, you have to give the bank guarantee. So what is a bank guarantee? It's for a material. So material offside bond. Okay, what is the purpose? As you know, okay, he is paying in advance, but in case the material, okay, came to the site not as per the contract or something on the way it damaged. Okay, something went wrong. So what is the surety for an employee? So he is taking this guarantee. Okay. Okay. So what is the validity period of the material offside bond? What do you think? Once it is reached and stored at the site, then that bond is gone. Okay. So it is like a offside. Okay. Now the last things we should understand, then we will wind up the lecture. Okay. So what is last things? What is guarantee? It's a promise. So guarantee is a promise. The party providing the guarantee known as a guarantor. Okay. While the party receiving the guarantee is known as a beneficiary. So there's a guarantor and the beneficiary. So the guarantee can take many forms, such as letter of credit, you can say LC, or you can say a bond, we are talking performance bond, or personal guarantee. Someone go and tell, I will be responsible for anything went wrong. It's called guarantee. Okay. So, but mostly this guarantee used to provide the financial security or assurance in the business transaction. So in general, guarantee has some monetary value. Okay. Now you should understand what is a warranty. Okay. Now you bought mobile phone and all, no? Are they giving warranty to you? Yes or no?
Yes,
Is there
if
any
you
warranty?
purchase.
Yes. So when they are giving warranty, okay, anything when damage, do you have any bank bond like you can encase the money?
No.
No, that is not a monetary value, but that is a promise of the service. So if the product or service fail to meet this expectation, the warranty specify the condition under which it will be repaired or replaced. Now we know the Apple, Samsung, they come with so many different types of warranty, isn't it? So that is warranty, and most of the time, okay, there is a repair or replacement kind of service only. There's no monetary value given to you. Okay. Now, are the all bonds are guarantee, or what is the difference between the bonds and guarantee? Okay. Now you understand the parent company guarantee. We had the question. Yes. Okay. Okay. So, are all bonds are guarantee, or what is the difference between the bonds and guarantees? Okay. What is your answer? Yes or no? Answer is no. Not all bonds are guarantees. Okay. A bond is a type of guarantee that is issued by a normally third party. The third party will be a bank or bondsman. However, there are other types of guarantee that are not considered as a bond, like the personal guarantee. Can you talk about the personal guarantee? There's no bond. So the main difference between the bonds and the guarantee, the nature of the promise or obligation that you are going to get. So bonds are typically used to provide the financial security, while guarantees are sometimes to secure, loan or lease or other financial transaction. Let's say you want to take the bank loan. You are taking your friends as a guarantor. Yes or no? Normally in government sector, if you want to take a loan, you have to take the another government employee. So that's called guarantor. He's giving any money? No, normally not. So bonds always mostly it is having the financial security, whereas the guarantor no, sometimes. Another key difference, right? The bonds are typically issued by the bank, you know that one, or insurance company, or any financial institution. But the guarantees may be issued by the individual or companies, like a parent company guarantee. It's a company guarantee. Bonds also have the specific legal requirement, and it is regulated by law. But the guarantees may be more flexible terms, okay, in terms of when come to any agreement. So in summary, what I want to say, while bonds, are type of a guarantee, but not all the guarantees are considered as a bond. Okay, so that is a difference. Miss Ragda, have you got answer now?
Yes, engineer يعني let's say I have guarantee. The parent guarantee, let's say I have a default in the site. The parent company, maybe they will come and fix the default without paying me.
Yes, that's what they agree.
Okay, so this is the guarantee. يعني no need for money, but خلاص I will fix your problem.
Yes.
Okay.
But where is the problem will come, if they don't fix it, then how do you recover the damages? Then you better to have the bond.
Okay. So the law
Yeah.
will not protect me in this case.
No, there is a protection because still he has given the guarantee, but it is not that much comfortable compared to the bond. Bond you don't need to ask anyone, no? You just encash it from the bank. But here you have to go so many routes.
Okay. Okay.
So in general, how you agree the guarantee? If you have that, trust on the company, that's what I said. You have to ask the expert, like a financial expert, legal advisor, whether to go for it or not. Don't just accept it. Okay, if you are not sure about it.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay then. So yes, with that,
Mr. Munas,
we come to the end.
just
Yeah, I'll have 1 second. So if anybody have any question, stay with me. So lecture is
I have
done.
one question.
Thank you. And if no question, you can leave or stay until the every questions are answered because now almost we reach
I have
enough.
one question.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, if our contract is 100 million and performance bond guarantee 10%, okay, and final account is settled more, say 200 million.
Okay.
So for DLP, need to revise performance bond and submit, right?
No need. Because as we discussed already, the bonds and bonds, especially bonds, okay, this is stick with the original contract amount, not the varied contract amount. So even million also, it doesn't matter. Otherwise, it is very difficult. Say you can go for that practice, but very difficult for you to manage the bonds and current insurances. Every time you have to keep on changing. Now that
And my point
difficult
is
we have.
after the final account for DLP, final account
I,
TOC.
let's say okay, you agree the 100 million. Now next month 1 million variation come. Do you want to
No,
change the bond?
not
Yes, you have to change the
monthly,
bond.
not monthly. Final account, TOC. We got this
No, no,
part.
no, no need to. Final account mean you are closing the account. Now what else you need with the guarantee? There's no need. So until final account, you have to keep the validity of the bonds.
For
So
DLP?
after final, but if you are talking about the statement completion, it's still same practice applicable. You don't need.
Okay.
Mr. Munas, can I ask, please?
Yeah.
In some contracts, the employer asking a promissory note instead of bonds. So, can you just tell us an idea about the promissory note and which
Same as a
stronger
guarantee
the
because
promissory note?
same as a guarantee, someone promising, which doesn't have a monetary value, isn't it? So the promise can be sometimes honored or not honored. So that will bring a problem when come to a real claim. That's what in the so many subclauses we have
I think
seen.
legally it's a strong document, the promissory note.
Yeah,
Here in
still,
Saudi Arabia, they consider it
yeah,
as a strong documents.
even the parent company guarantee also legal document. It can be signed and authorized by the lawyer. That's fine. But what I'm saying, say when come to the real claim, if you have the bonds, you just encase it from the bank. Whereas here, if you want to compensate your losses, you have to go through the litigation or arbitration. Do you comfortable with that one? That's not that much, isn't it?
Yes.
That is a different. Okay.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
The question is in regards to the payment bond. What if the employer fails to pay the contractor for progressed work? Given the fact that where the progressed work amount is higher than the payment bond, in that case, what will happen?
At least you have the backup to recover the amount rather than nothing.
Okay.
But still, try to climb, but you are, but you have done the work.
So basically,
And
little
normally payment claim, okay, we will discuss in upcoming lecture. Okay, delayed payment. What is the contractual rights and obligation? Okay, we will discuss about that one. Because whatever we are gradually moving to understand how we are going to manage the payments and the variation and the claims. Right. So far now we understood what is a performance bond or what is all the types of bond available in our project and how to deal with that one and the rights and obligation of the both party. Okay. But the applications are still there. Like, okay, what will happen if you don't get paid timely? What is the contractor rights? Still there are a lot to learn. So your case, yes, you can call the bond because he didn't pay, and also you have right to call the recovery. Okay. Any different questions?
Thank you very much.
Munas, you said that 70 days, no? That validity, like contract period, defect liability period, and 70 days. Where
Okay,
it
that's
like
what
actually
it's there in the subclause. We have discussed. You go back and see.
in the 4.2? Okay, I'll check that.
if there are no sub clauses.
Mr. Munas, I have a question.
Yeah.
In common practice, in which case we need to extend the performance bond? Actually, what I understand that it will be in only two scenarios. The first thing, it will be when we have extension of time, and the other scenario is when we delay, when the contractor delay to deliver the project on time. Because what I understand that the performance bond, the performance bond, it will be covering, it will cover all the period or the project period. Is it correct, or there is a different scenario for extension of?
Yeah, right. Anyhow, in simple term, any project delay occurred, the project need to be extended. So when you're extending, automatically the insurance bond, everything should be extended. So that is a key factor. Project duration is impacting. So duration go high due to which party, that is questionable. But still the bond should be validated. Okay, so you are right.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, if the employer encased the bond middle of the contract and fail to provide the performance bond to the equal amount which is uncased, what will happen? Look, if the employer cannot call the bond without a proper reason. Let's say there's a default happen, like we understood. There are 4 scenario the employer can call the bond, and they can keep the bond until the performance certificate issued. They can keep the bond. Plus, whatever the claim they they deduct the amount on the bond value, you have to pay. Now let's say the contract is closed. Now they have to release. That time they have to release. I hope you understood now.
Mr. Munas, could you please just highlight the major difference between the performance security demand guarantee and the suit bond, because the sound was lagging. I couldn't note it down.
Repeat again. What is that? Performance?
The security bond and the security demand guarantee for the just the major or the key difference.
Which slide number you are talking?
The difference between Annex C and Annex D.
Annexure C and Annexure D.
Just the main key difference, because the sound was lagging. I couldn't note it down.
Tell me the page number, slide number.
1 minute. It's slide 10. 10.
10 or 20?
10. 20.
This one, you're talking.
20,
Yes, 20. Yes. Okay, this one. Fine. Look, the guarantee is a bank bond. Okay, surety is not the bank bond. It is something surety we will do. So look at the keyword, everything they have mentioned. Okay, any claim under the bond must be received by the guarantor. So this is something you should not accept, but worst case only you can go for it. No headache if you go for Annex C. It is problem when you really encounter the issues. And also the terms and conditions are different. Say when you claim the bond, they can give you full amount, but here they can go up to the maximum limit, and you have to go with the so many protocol. Like you have to prove all the evidences. So that's not really a easy for a client side. You have to keep on proving.
Yeah. So for the second one, we have to prove the cost which we incur.
Everything.
And they will just compensate us for the actual loss, correct?
Yes. Then up to the maximum limitation that the bond is standing for.
Yeah, as example, if the bond is like $1,000, I have to substantiate $10. They will give me $10 only, correct?
Exactly. Yes, that's what they say. But
yeah,
if they not give, then what do you do? You don't know the the provision here. So that is risky little bit.
But Annex C, they will provide me the $1,000 without any question, correct?
Yes. That is on demand, unconditional.
Okay. Now I got it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, okay.
Manas,
So I will check. Is there any other question?
yeah, is there any exception case that the project can be completed without performance bond, as the contractor has some financial issue and he's not able to
Let's say
provide
all the bonds, insurances. Okay, forget about insurance. All the bonds use a safeguard for employer. Now, if the employer trusts the contractor, they have a good relationship. Yes, you can go. But look, contractually, if there's anything, something went wrong, then how do you recover your losses? That is the problematic area you have to focus. So answer for you, yes, they can go. The employer and the contractor they can do whatever. But when the contract turns into the problematic area, then as a contract administrator, you can't do anything. So that's a problem. Okay, so ask this question. Due to revised contract value variation, value of the performance bond need to be revised or not? Not. No need. You stick with the contract value.
And
Okay.
I have same question.
Okay.
Due to that additional variation, if the contract sum increased and if the employer insists the contractor to increase the PB, what should how to deal with this?
And there is no need, because if you agreed in the contract to increase based on the revised contract sum, now that's going to be a disaster for you. I will explain why. Okay. Now look at this. You signed the contract value 100 million, right? So many of you asking this question repeatedly. So I am going to explain this only. Now let's say how much 10% you have to give the performance bond. How many? 10%. Okay. Sorry, I will draw it again. Sorry. So 100 and 10% on top of that. How much? 10 million, isn't it? Now let's say you agreed you are going to change the performance bond or any bond value based on the revised contract value. Okay, after few months, the contract value went to 110. Now how much you want to? 10%? How much you want the bond value? Tell me. 11. Now after a few months, the bond went to 100 because omission happened. Now how much you want again? 10%. So you need 10. Now after some time it went to 90. How much you want? 90. So do you understand it is hard to manage if you go with the revised contract value. So that's why we stick with the original contract value always. So the revised contract will go plus or minus by the time to time. Okay, is that clear to you? But ultimately, what is the answer for you? Yes, you can go with the revised contract value. But as a contract administration or contract management, it's very difficult. You always have to break your head. Even say 1,000 is increased. You want to go for a insurance or bond to change value. Do you think they will do free of charge? Right, that's the things. Okay. So you got the clarity now?
Yeah, that's okay. But in this case, if the employer insisting us to increase this one,
No,
or
he
they will
cannot
hold the
insist.
payments.
No, he cannot insist unless otherwise you agreed in the contract.
Okay, so he can't hold the payments, interim payments or something, right? Because I heard in
There's
one
no
project
right
they
to
are
hold
holding
the
the payment.
payment. Yeah, there's no right to hold the payment except there's a one sub clause I have pointed to in the last class. That's only the sub clause talk about the holding the payment. And also you can't hold all the payment. Only the estimated value of the defective works you can hold. Okay. So you don't have right at all.
So if they hold the payment, what action we can take as a contractor?
It's a breach of contract. There's no contractual rights for them to do that one. So ask them the contractual rights, where they have such rights, which sub clause state that. They will be silent. Then you know what to do next. It is a breach of contract. So dispute will come.
Yes, right. Thank you.
Okay. So good night to everyone. See you all with the upcoming lecture. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.